Today we're gonna do a tier list of the ugliest features that you can have. Watch till the end of the video to see how many of the ugly features that you have. If you have more than 3 of these ugly features, it might be over for you. But anyways, we can begin with acne here. And I'll say if you have severe acne just like her right here, then it's over. It's even hard to be average with severe acne here. Like the actual condition acne, it's a bad health indicator. You look unhealthy. It looks like there's something wrong with you. It's so hard to be even like average with acne like this, as you guys can see. And to the second one, we have unequal facial thirds. And for this one, specifically, it's a forehead. I'll put this in the huge flaw category. It's extremely difficult to be attractive with unequal facial thirds, where it's severe to this point. Especially for men, if you have a small lower third and like a huge forehead with a small mid face, then that's obviously really bad. Ideally, for your facial thirds, you would want your lower third to be the biggest, and then your mid face, and then your forehead. And for the girl here, it's the opposite, which we don't want. For the third one, it's gonna be a big nose, and I'll put this in the moderate flaw. Some attractive people have big noses, but obviously not to this degree. They'll have a dorsal hump, or like their nasal projection will be too big. We have guys like David Gandy or the girl Sana that have big noses, but they still look attractive. And next up, we have short ramus, and I'll also put this in the moderate flaw category. If you have a short ramus, your side profile is gonna be more unaesthetic. You're gonna have less jaw mass. There's a high chance that your lower third is also gonna be too small, unless you're downgrown, like for example Ryan Gosling. This is this is a pretty moderate flaw. You can still be attractive with a short ramus, but it'll be hard. It'll be kind of hard. In order to fix this, you'll have to get jaw angle implants, and the jaw angle implants are a little risky. For the next one, I'm assuming this is a protruded brow ridge, and I'll put this in the moderate flaw as well. We have guys like this. Obviously, this is a edited picture, but Chico has this flaw where his brow ridge isn't too proclined or too projected. It's your side profile is gonna be unesthetic. Obviously, your nasal frontal angle is gonna be off, and your eyes are gonna be less deep set. But you can still be attractive with a pushback brow ridge like Chico, for example. And for this one, I'm guessing it's close set eyes, and I'll put this one in the huge flaw category. Actually, it's extremely hard to be attractive if you have close set eyes. We have guys like Adriana Lima's ex-boyfriend who has excessively severe close set eyes, but obviously it depends on how bad it is. But your eye area, it's gonna be hard to be attractive with close set eyes. For the next one, we got patchy beard. This isn't really a facial feature, but I guess we can do this. I'll put this in the high end of minor flaw. You're gonna look, obviously you can just shave it off if you want to. For the most attractive men, they either have a light stubble or a clean shaven look. And if you have a patchy beard like this, it's an easy fix. You can hop on oral minoxidil, finasteride, and you can use topical minoxidil here, or you can just shave it off. And we got obese here, and I think we can all agree on this one. It's over. You just look unhealthy, you're fat, you can't even see your facial structure, you're unhealthy, you're unfit in nature. It's extremely hard to be average with the obese physique like this. For example, if I were to tell you name one attractive person that's obese who's actually obese, you wouldn't be able to do it. Being obese is one of the most extremely unattractive things that you can be. Next up, we got crooked teeth. I'll put this in the minor flaw as well, because This isn't really a facial feature. This is just like when you smile. But when you smile, the more important things are how white your teeth is, how wide your palate is. Crooked teeth is obviously important for an aesthetic smile, but those two things that I mentioned are more important. Next up, we got, I'm guessing this is rounded cervical angle, a rounded neck, double chin, neck wrinkles. I'll put this in the moderate flaw, in between the short ramus. No, actually, I'll put this in between big nose and short ramus. Depending on how bad your cervical angle is, this can be a severe flaw. Obviously, from the front, you can have a double chin. From the side, it'll look bad. You look fatter than you actually are. This is mainly because of low hyoid though, but it still makes you look fat. Obviously, you don't want uh, wrinkles there. Next up, we got asymmetries. So the thing with asymmetries are they're overrated in terms of the normies talking about facial aesthetics. When you talk to a regular person, they're gonna talk about symmetry and how important symmetry is. But symmetry isn't that important actually, and it isn't a big flaw, assuming that it isn't severe. So I'll put this in, it's either in the end part of moderate flaw or the highest end of minor flaw, but I'll put it here, at least for now. Everybody has some asymmetries, nobody is perfectly symmetrical. Actually, this is quite ironic, but if you're perfectly symmetrical, that actually might look uncanny. It's actually a bit better to have like very slight asymmetries. Next up, we got uh, wrinkles, nasolabial folds. I'll put this in the huge flaw category, in between close-set eyes and huge forehead. It's hard to be attractive when you have signs of aging, you look unhealthy, and you look old. Not many attractive people have nasolabial folds to this degree and wrinkles to this degree. It's obviously fine if you have like very minor folds, but if there is somewhat noticeable, that's going to be a big deductor to your facial attractiveness. You can't really name people who have nasolabial folds and just wrinkles on their face to a moderate level. Next one is thin lips. So this one for women, if I'm doing this tier list for a woman, it'll be on the huge flaw category, but since this is mainly for men, I'll put this in the in between short ramus and no brow ridge. So this is a dimorphic trait, but we don't want this in men. We don't want thin lips for men even. It's gonna mess up a lot of your facial harmony ratios, such as your chin to philtrum, your upper lip to lower lip ratio, your philtrum's gonna look long, and things like that. But this is an easy fix. You just have to go to Thailand and get fat grafting. We don't want thin lips, even though it's not a big flaw. There's still a lot of guys that are attractive that have thin lips, such as Henry Cavill, I think, Matt Bomer. I'll put this in the moderate flaw area. And again, it obviously depends on how thin your lips is. So this, we got recessed lower jaw here, and I'll put this in the huge flaw category. In between, actually I'll put it above unequal facial thirds. If you have a recessed lower jaw, you're not gonna have good convexity. You're not gonna pass the lip assessments, and you're just gonna look undeveloped from the side. Your chin's recessed. There's very small amount of attractive people with recessed lower jaws. The only one I can really think of is maybe Adriana Lima. And obviously, we don't want recessed chin. We don't want the whole lower jaw to be pushed back. This is a very unattractive trait for both genders. Next up, we got narrow jaw. I'll put this in between recessed lower jaw and unequal facial thirds. This is obviously worse for men, but even for women, we don't want narrow jaws. This gives up a less dominant look. You're lacking jaw mass, bone mass overall, and this is actually a quite hard fix actually. You just need jaw angle implants, but with implants on the jaw, there's a high infection rate. If you're a woman, you can get away with the narrow jaw, but if you're a man, you can't get away with the narrow jaw. There's very small amount of attractive men with narrow jaws. Next up, we got cross eyes, strabismus. I'll put this in the low end of huge flaw or high end of moderate flaw, but I'll put it here for now. So when you have strabismus to this level, you look crazy. You look like a weirdo. You look creepy. You look like there's something wrong with you. Actually, a lot of crazy people have strabismus. Like we have examples here on the screen. If you have severe cross eyes like this, you need you need to get surgery for this. It's very hard to be attractive with an eye area like this. So next one, we got far set eyes, and I'll put this again on the same tier as close set eyes, but I'll say far set eyes are worse. We barely have people that are attracted with far set eyes to this degree. The only one I can think of is Black Mermaid, even though she isn't like super attractive. This is actually extremely difficult to fix as well. You'll need OBO, and that's a very risky surgery. So we got balding here, and I'll actually put this in it's over. I can't really name any attractive people with severe receding hairline like this or balding. Obviously, this is worse for women, but this is really bad for men as well. I can only think about guys like Marlon, Brad Pitt. Obviously, being bald is worse for women, and if you're actually bald for women, it never began. But if you're a guy with bald head, it's pretty much over for you. You're gonna need a hair transplant. You're not gonna be attractive, and it's even gonna be hard to be average with a receding hairline or if you're bald. Because this is a health indicator, right? You look unhealthy, you look like there's something wrong with you, you look older than your actual age. Let me just talk about why the fuck do like guys shave their heads when they're attractive and then they just purposely descend. They'll have majestic long hair, maybe they'll have the flow wolf cut or like long curly hair and they'll just buzz it like this. Why do people just purposely descend themselves on purpose? Like that makes no sense to me. You're not gonna look like this alpha sigma male if once you buzz your haircut. You're still a dork, you're still a geek, plus now you're unattractive now. You're ugly with your buzz cut. But anyways, we can get into flared ears. I'll put this in the high end of moderate flaw. We obviously have attractive people with flared ears just like such as Clav and Marlon. But if you have really flared ears, that's gonna your harmony score is gonna be very deducted heavily. It's not gonna look good. But the good thing about flared ears is that if you're a woman, when you have long hair, you can cover it, and if you're a guy with like medium long hair, you can also cover it with your hair. And this is also an easy fix with autoplasty. The ROI is high, the satisfaction rate is high, and this is a quick fix. So next up, we got excessive upper eyelid exposure. I'll put this in the here in between unequal facial thirds and facial folds. It's gonna be hard to have an attractive eye area if your upper eyelid exposure is pretty severe like this one. But if it's not too severe, you can still be attractive. Excessive upper eyelid exposure is obviously better for women, but it's way worse in men. And this is a quick fix too with fat grafting. It only costs like $1,000 if you go to Thailand. That's it for the video, guys. Comment down below how many of the facial flaws that you have here. If you have more than 3 from moderate flaws and up, I'll say this, it's gonna be extremely hard to be attractive. You're gonna need to detect how you're gonna fix those flaws, and then you're gonna have to make a surgery plan with it. I'm sorry. If you have, like, let's say you have unequal facial thirds, short ramus, and let's say you have like cross eyes, it's gonna be extremely hard to be attractive or even be average if you have these three flaws that I listed for the example. What you need to do is create a surgery plan on how you can fix these things in order. That's how you're gonna ascend. That's actually how you're gonna ascend. That's how you're gonna become even be average. Because again, if you have these three flaws, it's gonna be hard to be even be average. I like making these type of videos, guys, so let me know if I should do more tier list videos in the comments down below or by liking the video. Have a good day, guys.